Hello there. This will be the first and hopefully a series of tutorials about technology, game development, and programming. In this first tutorial, I'll be explaining how you can relay the state of a plastic button to a Unity game so that you can use this for one of your games and you can maybe make different kinds of peripherals based on an Arduino and use them with Unity. So in this first part, I'll explain a bit about how to use the Arduino itself, how to wire it, and in the next part I'll move on and explain about the actual connection to Unity. So I have this plastic button which is already soldered with a few jumper cables attached to it to make this a bit easier. So see, there's this mechanism that pushes in the button, and this switches which wires are electrically connected. So if it's not pressed, the blue and orange wires are connected, and if it is pressed, the red and orange are connected instead. So you want to use this to apply a voltage to one of the pins of the Arduino. So off is 0 volts and on is 3 volts. So if you connect the blue wire to 0 volts and the red to 3 volts, this orange will switch between 0 and 3 based on whether it's pressed or not. If you have a do terminal switch, so you can imagine this blue wire isn't there, you can still get the same effect, but in this case you need a resistor. So you imagine this is the ground source, the 0 volt source, and it's permanently connected to the output via the resistor. So this way the output is at 0 volts, and once you press the button, there's a short circuit between the 3 volts and the output, which will, if you may, will be stronger than the connection via the resistor. So if you do this, you do need to use a resistor that is sufficiently strong, because otherwise you will have a current running from 3 volts to 0 volts, and it might melt your wires or just waste a lot of power. So this resistor should be at least 10 kilo ohms, maybe a million. It doesn't matter too much, it just needs to be very big. Okay, so since I have this 3 terminal kind, I can connect the wires. So conveniently this blue one will be the ground. The red one will go to one of the 3 volts outputs, and there are multiple, so it doesn't matter which one. And the orange one will go to one of the pins that doesn't have another function. So in this case I'll go for D1. And this way it's all wired up.
So now that our Arduino is wired up, I've hooked it up to my PC and I've opened up the Arduino IDE, which you can download for free. And we'll be writing a little bit of code to read the button state and report it back to the PC. So the easiest way to do this is to just work from one of the examples that are built in. So we'll just use digital button. And let me just get rid of this one. So we'll just get rid of everything we don't need. This specific code likes to write to the LED pin that is built into the board, but we won't need that. So we'll just get rid of all that. So we don't need the LED pin. We do need the button state. And okay, so on setup, we will add the serial connection. So that will be serial.begin. And we can provide the baud rate for the connection, which will depend on your specific Arduino. And if the button state is high, we will just write back to the serial and we'll say high. And if it's low, we will send back low. You might have to do a little bit of setup specific to your Arduino board. So you have all these lists of different models. In my case, it's this one, Node MCU 1.0. And of course, you need to connect to the right port. But what you need to do here will be explained for your specific Arduino. It doesn't really matter that much which one you have. So if you've got this all set up, we just need to write in the right pin, which in our case was D1. And then we should be able to upload this. Once it's done uploading, you can open the serial monitor to see what the Arduino is saying. And as you might expect, it's spitting out a lot of low values. So once I press the button, this will indeed switch to high. Alright, so that was the easy part. In the next part, I'll be showing how you actually get the signal to Unity. So I'll see you then.